On October 8th, Professor Thomas Kent delivered a lecture at the Faculty of Journalism, Lomonosov Moscow State University. Professor Kent is adjunct associate professor at the Columbia School of Journalism in New York. He is also deputy managing editor and standards editor of the Associated Press, responsible for standards of fairness and accuracy across their organization. At the Faculty of Journalism, Professor Kent spoke about the Journalist Code of Ethics.
I think journalistic ethics are really important because they're part of the definition of what a journalist is. These days, who's a journalist? People often ask the question, is anybody who puts stuff out on Twitter a journalist? So, in my opinion, a journalist is a person who collects and transmits information and who has a clear and transparent code of ethics. So having ethics is really part of the definition of whether you're a journalist or not.
Thomas Kent graduated with a degree in international relations from Yale University and speaks Russian, French, and Spanish. He has an extensive background as a reporter and journalist working in the USA, Australia, Russia, and other countries.
I had some good sessions with Russian students. We talked about journalistic ethics. We talked about the press in the United States. I think that students here tend to ask fewer questions. In the United States, I'm used to getting a lot of questions. I'm used to students disagreeing, arguing with me. There's less argument here. They're politer, I guess, but you don't have the exchange of the kind you would have with American students.
The world of journalism is rapidly changing. The countries may differ in their ethical standards, but there is one thing that remains the same. The journalist should be held accountable for what he writes and what he says. That was the conclusion reached by the end of the lecture of Thomas Kent. Muradova Arakti, Zlunikina Anna, Students TV channel Mahavaya 9.